Okay, so I've taken the time to move the videos around. I had to move all the keyframes as well, which was taking the time to take them and scoot them over to the start of this video, which is where I want them to be. This is where, at this point in the timeline, these videos are now going to be framed up where they're at. What I'm talking about here is I missed. Sorry, let me do this. Remember I said I wanted the center one to pop up.
It's like we can see his.
There it is.
Right, his front left.
The really nice part about this actually is the fact that this is the only video, if I saw right, that is actually flying through space to get to Earth. I think all the other ones started on Earth or from like the tower or something. So this actually, it just worked itself out in this case. I didn't do it on purpose. This one just is a happy coincidence, and I like happy coincidences. Now, before we get to that, obviously we're sitting with a spot here where now we've got these four on the edges, and that looks kind of weird. So what I'm going to want them to do is, before it hits this spot, you know, where they're blank, I want them to all touch each other, but I want them to spread out to where they'll be at that point, which is already halfway there, because now that I've got this keyframe there, these are at that keyframe going to be there. So if I do something beforehand, then they will start from wherever I put them at this particular point and spread out. So now my next job is I have to come down here, and here are my videos that are before that point. So we'll go to this guy first. Now I have to, let's see, let's come in here real quick. So, second by second by second by second. 1, 2, 3, 4. So I think we're going to come back here. We'll actually go for a relatively even amount of time compared to this one. Because that's your second right there. And it's in a little bit, and that should be about 5 seconds. 0, 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi, 4 Mississippi, 5 Mississippi. Okay, so that'll be a nice transition. Now what I have to do is I have to come back in here again, and I have to come to this again. I'll scoop this down. I'll scoop this down a little bit, and now I have to make it half the width of the original. So let's see. Let's take a second. I'm trying to remember what full length is. The good thing about this is I'll be able to fix this in a little bit. That's obviously close. Okay, it's 1920 by 1080, that's right. 1080, 1080. And that'll be a perfect video. Okay, so what we're gonna do is we'll come back to here and we'll delete this guy. And delete. Let's just undo. Until it's back where you're supposed to be. Okay. half of that will be 540 for my Y, and 960 for my X. So at this point we're going to want 960 at 540, which is accurate. And then I need to be able to move this until it fits in the corners. Well, that is definitely not what I wanted. Undo that. Let's make sure it's nice and even. Because the good thing here is if I can get it close. Let's see. 280? No. Negative 280? Negative 270. Negative 260. Damn it. Negative 260. No. Negative 270. Okay, so 270. 480. Negative 480. Negative 480. Oh god. Negative 480. There we go. Okay. So now I gotta do the same thing with all of these. Top will be 270. Negative 270. And as always, it's nice to have a notebook sitting around, or it's nice to have, in my case, I've got little sticky notes that I use left and right. And that's how I do all of these things that I do. Okay, so now with that, I've got him sitting there at this particular point. So from here to here, it will narrow down. Now I need to do the same thing with every single one of these. You'll be able to see it's 960 by 540 on the height. And I've got my tops and bottoms, lefts and rights. So we'll go to this guy next at this particular point. It helps if I do that. I knew something was wrong. 960, and then I'll make that because I've got it so it'll be even. For 80 and negative 270. That'll move him up. Now they're sitting right next to each other, nice and pretty. We'll go to this guy next, do the same thing. 60. You can see both positive, so 480, 270. There we go. Same thing with this guy. 960. Negative 480. 270. So, make sure he's not solid anymore. There we go. Now you can see everybody. We'll clear that out. Do the big save.
Oh yeah, that was it. Yeah. His front, it's like we can see
everybody goes to their corners.
His front left.
And again, this is all very noisy, and that's fine. That's kind of what I expect it to be. I have no intentions of killing off the audio. In fact, that's just what I'm going to have this video do. Now, the next thing I'm going to do is narrow this out. And I'm going to come back here. I'm going to try to find a similar amount of time. Figure out where this one is and do the same thing. About 5 seconds. So it's about halfway. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 seconds. This should be that video. And what I'm going to want to do is go to the track. Same guy, same size. And I want my X to be 0. So I'm going to have him be there instead. So he'll scoot over to the right as that one comes in, boop, and it'll be there. Then we're going to come out. Right here is where these guys will be. We'll do the same thing. Let's see, so we're going to be close to here. Oh, too far. Let's do this. There we go. So let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh. 5. Okay. And we will take... I keep narrowing that up. That's all I really need to do is just do that and bring these guys up. This will be the left guy. Down, bring this down, bring this up. My X can be 0. No, that's the wrong one. Undo. My Y can be 0. And I'll do the same thing on this guy. Y can be 0. So now they're centered next to each other, which is what they'll do from that point. And we'll come down here, and I'm going to want that same thing. 5 seconds to work with. Make them seconds. There we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right here. Take him. Even amount. 1920 by 1080, full screen. Get rid of this. Do a quick save. Narrow this down.
Let me live on mine either. Oh, BMAC with this.
Uh-oh. Something didn't work. That's no good. Oh, I know what I did. And I did it to each and every single one of these too. Ah, boy. Notice how these are a mess now. So I don't have my beginning and end points on each of these, so they're all referencing the previous one. So now I gotta go back and I gotta move all these up to where I want them to be at the point of the yada yada. And so this shouldn't take that long, but I gotta take the time to fix these now. So I gotta put them all back where they're supposed to be. So same kind of stuff, I just have to do that now. So we'll come back after I've got that done. Alright, so I've taken the time and I've put in the fixes. There's supposed to be 2 keyframes per each. There's the one that it's set to, and then basically the one that it goes to. And this is your transition phase right here, from this size to that size.
Oh,
I've done the same thing for every other video. I've gotten them all fixed, so they're all in good shape now. So now we have all of these guys all set up. I'm actually going to take this because this should move everybody at once. See, even my keyframes are moving. Thank God. Otherwise, that would have been hell right there, and I would have had to redo a lot of stuff. Now, what I want to do, just do an extra save again, is I want to add some kind of an intro, like you've kind of seen me do before. So what we'll do is we will add one more video track all the way on top. One more audio track, which I will move all the way to the top, right there. And right here, I will figure out some kind of intro to put in. And you'll see the intro. It'll be something simple with video and a little bit of audio. Then finally, the last thing you gotta do with this is you'll have to scrape across the top, basically. Get your beginning from your very beginning to your very end, whatever that is. You'll go up here to render as, and you'll have to have a place where the video is going to go, what you're naming it as, and then it's good to have, you got to use a template of some type, and I've actually got one of the ones that are in here normally, the Internet HD 1080, customized specifically for my needs, which is rendering with CUDA and a constant bit rate of 4 megs. If I go higher than that for a really long video, things just tend to act up really bad. So I generally do pretty much every video that you see, this is what I render at. So, and that's basically it. Kind of the longest part of this one was actually sitting there waiting for the whole audio peaks to be found. Again, I wasn't expecting that to happen, so we kind of learned at the same time. The rest of this, as you see, it's really not that complicated. It takes a little bit of time, and obviously with anything, you've got to play with it. Thankfully, I've had time to play with keyframes a little bit. You still saw me screw up because I'm not proficient at it yet, but I knew how to fix my problem immediately. This is a little bit more involved with the way I'm doing multiple videos than I normally would do. Normally it'd be one video, like you take any of my Fallout videos, that's all one video. Maybe some extra clip, maybe an extra video thing for some text or some pictures or throwing something else in real quick. The one that I did for the number 100 video actually had a lot more, of course, because there was, oh my god, amount of clips that I had to go one by one. But they were all on the same video plane, the same video, one of these. It wasn't like this where I've got all 9 playing at once to make 9 frames. It's a little more involved. But again, you can see, it's a kind of a complicated looking video, and the audio is going to be weird. Everybody's going to whine about the noise. I don't really care because this is what I wanted to do. I don't know if I'll do this multiple times, but this is what I wanted to do with this video. But with anything, a lot of times, video editing, it's not that complicated. There are things that are crazy. I don't do a lot of crazy stuff because I don't know how to yet. So you get really amateurish stuff out of me even when it looks pretty decent. So but this is also, I did this video in 3-4 hours. I'll even call it, we'll call it an hour and a half. I did this video in an hour and a half with everything that I've done. Again, the number 100 video, that was also extra time recording and everything, but that still took me 3 weeks. So that tells you how much more involved that video was compared to what this is. I had to do everything by audio marks to make beats fix, beats hit, yada yada. This is relatively simple. So hopefully you enjoyed. Maybe I'll do another one of these again in the future when I'm doing something a little less weird compared to what I normally do. And it'll be easier for me to show some more stuff off. But I hope you enjoyed, and see ya. Peace.